Live from ABC7, this is Eyewitness News at 7 p.m. on LA56.
A woman trying to ride home in an Uber car is assaulted by a driver. What Uber says you can do to stay safe.
I'm Muslim and I'm sorry it had to happen so tragically.
The sister of a man stabbed to death speaking out. The suspect is the man's roommate, an actor best known for playing a Power Ranger on TV.
And a measles scare shuts down a daycare center at Santa Monica High School. Good evening, I'm Rutabaga Shabazi in for Colleen Sullivan.
And I'm David Ona. Welcome to Eyewitness News on LA56, LA's only live local newscast at 7 p.m. And police are investigating an alleged sexual assault by an off-duty Uber driver. Now the company is reminding everyone of its safety measures. Eyewitness News reporter Leanne Suter has the latest on the investigation.
Investigators say the victim was picked up in Mar Vista at the intersection of Palms and Beethoven Saturday night. Detectives say the suspect is an Uber driver, but he wasn't the one who was supposed to be picking the young woman up.
He said, I'm actually not working as an Uber driver right now, but I am an Uber driver. She got in the front seat. He then took her to a location where he did sexually assault her.
Uber, which operates via an app on your cell phone, confirms the man is a driver with the company, but says he was not working Saturday. In a statement, Uber says, quote, "We take allegations like this seriously and are investigating as quickly as possible. We have also proactively reached out to LAPD to offer assistance." Uber reminds customers they have protocols in place to help ensure their safety and to make sure they are getting the right Uber driver, including sending a picture of the driver and license plate number of the car. The company and police also encourage riders to share their route and estimated arrival time. Investigators say the victim in this case did not have a cell phone with her and that a friend had ordered the car for her. Many female customers say they have often thought of their safety when using these services.
I've never ridden Uber alone. I have ridden with just my girlfriend, but it was just for a short distance locally. So I have thought about it, yeah.
When Uber first came out, it was more like elite. So, I feel like everyone was like asking more questions. It was just more, maintained. And now when I've gone in Ubers, it gets a little crazy. Like people are like asking me questions, like inappropriate questions. And yeah, I felt like that. I stopped taking it.
Leanne Suter, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Uber says the driver who has not been arrested has been suspended. The case has not yet been turned over to the district attorney.
Breaking news in Hancock Park, where police are investigating a suspicious package near the mayor's house. Police got a call about a package just before 5 this evening. Drivers are being urged to avoid 6th Street and Irving Avenue for at least the next few hours while the bomb squad investigates. We'll bring you more information on this story as it becomes available. Former rap mogul Suge Knight has been charged with murder and attempted murder in connection with a hit-and-run last week. Knight is accused of running over 2 men with his pickup truck in Compton last Thursday. One man was killed, another was hospitalized. Knight turned himself in hours after fleeing the scene. Earlier today, his $2 million bail was revoked because he was cited as a flight risk and a potential 3 strikes candidate. Knight is scheduled to be arraigned tomorrow.
A convicted drug dealer accused of murdering a 20th Century Fox executive faced a judge today. 42-year-old John Creech has been charged in the killing of Gavin Smith. Smith was last seen in May of 2012 leaving a friend's home. His remains were later found in a shallow grave near Palmdale, and Smith's car was recovered in a storage facility that authorities say is connected to Creech. Today, Creech's attorney says there may have been a fight, but there was no criminal intent. He also hinted at some type of love triangle between Smith and Creech's wife.
From what I know, they met each other in a rehab and they dated on a few occasions.
Today's arraignment was continued, and Creech will be back to enter his plea later on this month. He's already in jail serving time on a cocaine charge.
We're learning more about a deadly stabbing in the Santa Clarita Valley involving an actor best known for playing a Power Ranger on TV. He's under arrest for the stabbing death of his roommate. Eyewitness News reporter Robert Olguin talked to the victim's sister.
Joshua Sutter is remembered as a gentleman who loved helping animals.
He would never hurt an animal, not even a fly.
Rachel Kennedy is talking about her 38-year-old brother who was fatally stabbed on Saturday afternoon.
Just before he was murdered, he was on the phone with my dad talking about how to plant a garden.
Investigators say Sutter was stabbed by his roommate, actor Ricardo Medina. who's best known for his role as the Red Power Ranger.
It absolutely was self-defense.
Frank Sheftel says he's been friends with Medina for more than 10 years.
Definitely somebody that was coming after him, and he did what he had to do.
Sheftel and several other friends visited with Medina today. The 36-year-old actor, seen here on his Facebook page, is being held at the Palmdale Sheriff's Station.
We want him out. He doesn't belong there. He was protecting himself and his girlfriend.
Investigators say that Medina and Sutter argued at their home in Green Valley on Saturday. Medina told detectives he had retreated to his bedroom with his girlfriend, but that Sutter barged in. Medina allegedly grabbed a sword that he kept by his bed and stabbed Sutter in the stomach.
I could see Josh maybe trying to talk to him and Rick not wanting him in his space, because that's where he spent most of his time, in his bedroom, and maybe Josh entered his space and he didn't like that very much.
Meanwhile, Medina's friends are starting a Kickstarter campaign to help pay for the actor's legal fees.
We know he would have protected any of us, and in any second. He's a protector, and he has a big heart.
Medina has not been charged with the crime. He's being held on suspicion of murder. His bail set at $1 million. He is due in court tomorrow. Reporting from Palmdale, Robert Olguin, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Tense moments in Santa Clarita today. A suspect is still on the loose following a deputy-involved shooting near Sierra Highway and Newhall Avenue. The Sheriff's Department says just before 9 o'clock this morning, a driver tried to run over a deputy who was responding to a report of a stolen vehicle. That's when the deputy-involved shooting occurred, but no one was hit. Deputies detained a passenger but later let that person go. They say the suspect has been identified as 30-year-old Jesse Tucker. He was last seen wearing a dark-colored shirt, black pants, and a blue baseball hat. If you know where he is, you're asked to call LA Regional Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS.
Former NFL star Warren Sapp is accused of assault and soliciting a prostitute. Sapp made an initial court appearance this afternoon following his arrest at a hotel in Phoenix. He was in town covering the Super Bowl. A woman told officers that she and another woman were working as escorts when an argument over money turned physical. The 42-year-old Hall of Fame lineman admitted involvement in the act of prostitution but denied assaulting the women. The one-time Dancing with the Stars contestant had been working for the NFL Network, which announced today that it had terminated his contract. And a man arrested for climbing a bike rack outside the White House made his first court appearance. Mauricio Jimenez Aguirre was arraigned this afternoon in Washington, D.C. court. He was charged with unlawful entry, but a judge released him on the condition that he stay away from the White House. The incident happened yesterday at a temporary bike rack on Pennsylvania Avenue. The rack is set back from the White House fence, making it unlikely that Aguirre could use it to get over. He didn't make it over and was taken into custody.
1 week after a record storm off the Atlantic, the northeastern U.S. is getting slammed by another powerful storm coming down from Canada. Two young people tempted fate by racing their four-wheelers, sliding across the street and slamming into a parked SUV. Fortunately, they weren't hurt. In downtown Cleveland, it looked like a whiteout with snow and ice everywhere. And at New York LaGuardia Airport, frustrated passengers were going nowhere as crews worked to clear the runway. And in Boston, crews are racing against the clock to clear the streets before tomorrow's planned Super Bowl victory parade.
Wow. Well, nothing like that around here, although we do feel bad for them. But another sunny day. We need some rain, Dallas.
Well, that's right, and we could use some of that snow that they have back up in the Northeast. But this is what we have today. This was the time lapse out at Malibu with the sun going down, a very subtropical situation for Southern California. We look at the satellite view. Notice the cold Arctic air that is covering the east tonight. Portland, Maine's at 1. It's 13 degrees in Boston tonight, and it's only 8 in Buffalo. But the rest of the nation still very mild all the way out here into Southern California. We have a storm that's headed for California. We'll find out if we're going to get any rain in just a minute. Drew DeBay, David, back to you.
Thank you, Dallas.
Right.
Union workers at 9 oil refineries in Texas and California, including one in Carson, are on the picket lines today. The union asked 3,800 workers to go on strike. About 800 are affected at the Tesoro plant in Carson. The union says it wants a 3-year contract and is focused on fatigue issues, health care costs, and wages. Tesoro says the strike notification is disappointing, but that contingency plans are in place to operate safely.
A baby too young to be vaccinated tests positive for measles, prompting the shutdown of a child care center at Santa Monica High School. The number of measles cases in the state is now at 92. Eyewitness News reporter Sid Garcia has reaction from Santa Monica.
14 babies cared for at the Santa Monica High School Daycare Center are now quarantined for 21 days after a baby at the center was diagnosed with measles. The infant room of the daycare center now shut down until further notice. The LA County Health Department notified the school about the measles case this weekend.
Our center director called all 24 families with babies and toddlers in that program. She called all this weekend to let them know what was going on.
The toddler room at the daycare center is also closed, but only through Thursday, for now. This is the second measles case connected to Santa Monica High School. A week and a half ago, one of the baseball coaches came down with the virus. The district says the 70 boys in the baseball program have all been immunized and show no symptoms. Today, students tell us there's some worry on campus the measles could spread.
Possible chance of spreading because there are students who work in the daycare and that could possibly cause them to talk to other friends and spread it to them as well. I think it's fine for now, hopefully, besides a couple of people who had it.
It's definitely a worry to think about, but it's not the biggest deal.
You've been vaccinated?
I have.
And in an email sent to parents over the weekend informing them of what was going on at the daycare center, the district also urged parents who had children who have not been vaccinated to get the measles shot. In Santa Monica, Sid Garcia, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Up next, did Charles Manson get cold feet? Why the mass killer's prison wedding may be called off.
Plus, an update on the condition of Bobby Christina Brown after she was found unconscious in a bathtub. And this.
Caught on camera, an explosion under the streets of New York. What triggered that blast?
And a groundhog prognosticator goes rogue on a small town mayor. When Eyewitness News comes right back. Whitney Houston's daughter, Bobby Christina, is fighting for her life. That's according to a statement released today by a representative for the family. Police say the 21-year-old was rushed to the hospital Saturday after she was found unresponsive and face down in a bathtub at her home in Georgia. Hospital officials say she's in a medically induced coma. The statement went on to say that the family appreciates the continued support and is asking for privacy. Whitney Houston was found dead in a tub at the Beverly Hills Hotel in 2012, the night before the Grammys.
Mass murderer Charles Manson may not be getting married after all. His wedding license with a 26-year-old devotee is set to expire on Thursday, and he has no scheduled visiting hours before then. The 80-year-old killer obtained the license in November along with a woman named Elaine Burton, who calls herself Star. In a 2009 interview, she tried to explain why she wanted to marry a notorious criminal.
Somehow I've got half a brain that I can see that he is the one that knows what's going on. He's the one that is in the truth.
There's no word on why the couple wasn't wed, but Starr is reportedly trying to obtain another 90-day license so the marriage can still go on.
A manhole explosion in Brooklyn caught on camera. Flames and smoke were already pouring in from the manhole when the fire department arrived. A short time later, this explosion, the second in the neighborhood in a matter of minutes. In the first, the manhole went flying and hit a man walking by. He was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Investigators suspect the fire started in an underground electrical vault.
All right, time for groundhog issues. Today is Groundhog Day, and this year, New York Mayor Bill de Blasio kept his hands off the state's Staten Island Chuck.
I've got my hands free.
It's kind of sad. New York's official groundhog was safely behind protective glass after last year's incident in which de Blasio dropped the groundhog. Last year's Chuck died a few days later. Things went much more smoothly this year, and Chuck even predicted an early spring.
In Wisconsin, a groundhog took out its frustration on a local mayor. It bit him in the ear as the mayor was reading the groundhog proclamation. The mayor declared it would be an early spring, but the groundhog's handlers say the groundhog actually saw his shadow, meaning 6 more weeks of winter, and was letting the mayor know his proclamation was wrong.
You get shots for that? The groundhogs are not in agreement in how long the winter weather will last this year. In Georgia, people gathered to watch groundhog. General Beauregard Lee predicted early spring. However, in Pennsylvania, the handlers of the most famous groundhog, Punxsutawney Phil, said the furry rodent has forecast 6 more weeks of winter.
That's a great name for a groundhog.
Yeah, and those are all hard to say.
Yes, all of them are.
All right, Dallas Rain joins us right now to talk about our weather. What do you think, Dallas?
I like the name Beauregard Lee. Is here to give us the latest weather forecast. I love that. 66 degrees at Van Nuys. One thing is for certain, we have this warm subtropical air mass across all of Southern California, and it's not raining, and it should be in February. Today, look at the high temperatures. Woodland Hills was 83 degrees today. Riverside topped out at 85, and San Bernardino was 81. Now, when we look at the winds aloft, we can see this large area of high pressure. The winds rotating in a clockwise manner, feeding clear skies into Southern California. We need some of this jet stream that brought rain today in Northern California to move down in Southern California. And normally during February, that is indeed what happens, but not this year. And not last year. Remember, we had the big dome of high pressure, and there it is again today. It's located over Southern California. You can see the clouds wisping around the tops of the ridge and then making their way southeastward. So the high stays there all week long, no changes. However, in Northern California, a stationary front will set up over San Francisco, and there will be a collision of air masses coming around the backside of that high. That's a southerly wind, and then northwesterly winds coming in from the North Pacific. And where these two air masses come together or converge, it is going to rain. And that includes San Francisco. We could be looking at possible flooding. That much rain will fall. And then in the high Sierra, I am forecasting a fairly good bit of snow, maybe over 1 foot to 2 feet. But south of Mammoth, probably nothing at all. So this is at least something in Northern California. Temperatures tomorrow look warm. 80 at Northridge, 77 at Simi Valley. And with that ridge of high pressure, it's sunny everywhere, just a few high clouds drifting by. 82 Riverside, 79 in Palm Springs. 7-day forecast, mostly sunny this week. No rain. Now, on Saturday and Sunday, the clouds come in off the ocean a little bit more, but still the temperatures are mild, with downtown temperatures at mid-70s. Wow. And that's about 10 to 15 degrees above normal for this time of the year. In the valley, 78 to 82, both Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. A little bit cooler for the weekend, but not much. At the beaches, mostly partly cloudy skies for the most part. A mixture of clouds and sun for the weekend, but nothing but dry conditions at the beach. Temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s. For the mountain areas, I'd love to say we have some snow. It's just not there in the forecast, and temperatures are really warm, too. Look at those 60s at Big Bear Lake at about 7,000 feet. In the high desert, 70, 73 for you, and then temperatures in the low 70s even as we head toward the weekend. So, Ruta Bay and David, we need rain desperately, but at least Northern California gets some action.
All right. Thank you, Dallas.
Thank you.
Dozens of cyclists hit the road today in Orange County to honor a local man killed while riding his bike 1 year ago.
Well, his family and friends want to make sure more cyclists don't suffer the same fate. Eyewitness News reporter Marco Robles caught up with them and has more on their message.
If you drive along Santiago Canyon Road near the 241 toll road in Orange, you'll notice this: a white bicycle and flowers attached to a fence. It's in memory of Joey Robinson. The 21-year-old was killed 1 year ago today by a Tustin teenager allegedly high on meth at the time. Valerie Dubois was Joey's mom.
I almost keep thinking, okay, if I could get through this next period of time, it's like he's kind of coming back. It's kind of a weird feeling, kind of a thing, but I know then when it hits that he's not coming back, it does hurt.
This morning, Valerie and her family were joined by about 24 cyclists. They pedaled from Irvine to the crash site, helping to turn the family's pain into something positive.
His spirit is still around, and that he is a champion in our minds, but champion for bike safety and for others.
Joey didn't die alone. He was there with somebody.
It was an Orange County firefighter who found Joey alongside the road just minutes before he passed. It was that same firefighter that gave a description of the suspect vehicle, leading to an arrest.
Too many bicyclists get hit every year, so we want to make sure everybody's wearing helmets, and motorists to look out for them. You know, they own the road too.
It's a message this family wants to spread.
Maybe something positive, some little positive, say one other life out there would be worth it. And Joey, he's just he's encouraging me, it feels like, just to keep moving ahead and doing this.
The woman who hit Joey is now 19 years old and has not yet gone to trial. She has been charged with several felonies. If convicted, she faces more than 15 years in state prison. Reporting from Orange, I'm Marco Robles, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Much more news still to come, including new concerns about Iran's possible nuclear program in the wake of a new satellite launch.
And NASA on a mission to explore icy worlds, what scientists hope to discover about our planet. There's a new satellite in space launched by Iran. Iranian state television announced the launch. The satellite is the nation's fourth in recent years to orbit the Earth. The launch comes amid negotiations with world powers over Iran's nuclear program. International observers worry the nation's space program could help it design rockets that could carry nuclear weapons.
Now to the latest on the claims being paid to victims of GM's faulty ignition switches. So far, 51 death claims and 77 injury claims have been paid. The amounts have not been disclosed. Officials administering the fund say it could be late spring before they've sorted through the nearly 4,200 claims. GM was aware of faulty ignition switches on the Chevrolet Cobalts and other small cars for more than a decade and didn't recall them until 2014. The government's auto safety agency has issued a $35 million fine against GM. So far, GM has fixed about 56% of the more than 2 million cars recalled. A scary sight in London where a double-decker bus had its roof torn off when it struck an overhanging tree. Take a look at these photos posted on Twitter. You can see the roof sitting just behind the bus. It happened on Kingsway in central London. Remarkably, only 4 people were injured, and those injuries are said to be relatively minor. Both police and transportation officials are investigating.
Well, that's a close one.
Yeah.
We're updating the evening's top stories next at 7:30.
That includes a Camarillo dentist under arrest for arson. He's accused of torching the offices of his competitors.
Plus, a homeless man attacked in Ventura. It comes just 2 weeks after another homeless man was set on fire. Are these crimes connected?
Live from ABC7, This is Eyewitness News at 7:30 p.m. on LA56.
Top story at 7:30. An off-duty Uber driver is accused of sexually assaulting a woman after she accepted a ride from him. I'm David Ono.
And I'm Rutabaga Shabazi in for Colleen Sullivan. This is Eyewitness News on LA56, LA's only live local newscast at 7 p.m. Authorities say a woman requested an Uber and was waiting for the driver in West Los Angeles early Sunday morning. Another driver who was not working at the time offered her a ride. That driver then sexually assaulted her and dropped her off, according to authorities. Uber says the driver has been suspended pending the outcome of the investigation. Meantime, the company is reminding customers that they should always confirm they're getting into the right car with their assigned driver.
Former rap mogul Suge Knight has been charged with murder and attempted murder in connection with a hit and run last week. Knight is accused of running over two men with his pickup truck in Compton last Thursday. One man was killed, another was hospitalized. Knight turned himself in hours after fleeing the scene. Earlier today, his $2 million bail was revoked, citing him as a flight risk and potential three-strikes candidate. Knight is scheduled to be arraigned tomorrow.
A long-running arson investigation leads to the arrest of a Ventura dentist. He's due to make his first court appearance tomorrow. Eyewitness News reporter Giovanna Lara has the details, plus reaction from one victim.
These Camarillo dentists from the Rosewood Dental Group are among the victims of several arson attempts.
We've been aware of it since June. There's been repeated 4 different attempts of throwing flammables on the roof and attempting to light them and successfully lighting them. Our building just won't burn.
What we were told to do was check the roof and make sure that, there wasn't anything happening, because that's where he was trying to set the fires.
And there were other attempts at this dental office just across the yard from where the alleged suspect worked himself. According to Ventura County Sheriff's investigators, the man responsible is another local dentist, Leopold Weinstein. Dr. Leo, as he's known to his patients, was arrested Friday, his home searched. He now faces charges of attempted arson, felony arson, and possession of a silencer. The motive still unclear.
Investigators are looking at all kinds of motives. One of them could be financial. We just don't know for sure. So the investigation is continuing, but it was unique in the fact that a dentist, this suspect in this case, was attempting to or actually set fire to other dentist offices here in the city of Camarillo.
We're just happy that we're safe and nobody was hurt, and that our building's still standing here.
Weinstein had been practicing in Camarillo since 2008. He is now in custody. His bail set at $250,000. He's scheduled to be in court tomorrow for his arraignment, and his office staff says they plan to be there to support him. In Camarillo, Giovanna Lara, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Police have released surveillance video from a stabbing at a Covina shopping center parking lot. The video shows the suspect chasing one victim. Police say 19-year-old Luis Vasquez used racial slurs as he attacked the two victims, who are African American. Vasquez was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder, assault, and a hate crime. Police say the victims did not know each other. And a body is found near a wash in Moore Park Street and Laurel Canyon Boulevard in Studio City. Now investigators are trying to determine how the man died. He's described as a 36-year-old African-American male and had sustained severe head trauma. At this point, it's unclear if the man fell or if he was pushed. Investigators hope to learn more from an autopsy.
The homeless community in Ventura on edge tonight. Police say 5 teens stabbed and beat a homeless man with a bat. It's the second attack in 2 weeks. Eyewitness News reporter Leo Stallworth talked to police and several homeless men in the area.
What happened to him last night was totally wrong. Whoever did that to him was evil people. Totally evil.
Russell Lamb says the brutal attack on his friend, 46-year-old John Wood, has left him and other homeless people shocked and concerned. They are under assault. Police say at least 5 teens beat Wood with a bat and stabbed him near the top of a harbor parking structure at Ventura Beach around 8 last night. Just 2 weeks ago, police say 3 people set a homeless man on fire as he slept in his sleeping bag at the beach.
So I am concerned. So I sleep up here in the California street and back in the trees, and I worry about our night someone come and stab me in the chest.
Police are on the hunt for suspects in both attacks. They do not believe they are connected.
The description in this incident is completely different than the description we got in the first incident. I think last night was random.
There is some kind of
concerned for my welfare, for my safety.
Stephen Clay says he's so scared he cannot sleep at night.
Kind of staying up in the nighttime and sleeping in the daytime. That's about all I can do right now until the situation is resolved.
The attacks have some regular tourists considering finding another beach too frequent.
There's been quite a few times where we were here and seeing the teenage kids just running around throwing cups at people and just papers or throwing them when they run by. So it's been kind of scary and on my mind, oh, will they do anything more?
Police say Wood has undergone surgery and is expected to survive.
I wish him the best of luck. You know, he's a good man. He's never harmed anybody out here. He's not violent. He's real mellow. Give you the show off his back. We had it.
Leo Starr with ABC7 Eyewitness News.
We have breaking news. Right now, investigators searching for a suspect after a deputy-involved shooting in Santa Clarita. Bill Thomas is live over the scene in Air 7 HD. Bill?
David, happening right now, Vermont Drive and Lyons Avenue in Newhall, the city of Santa Clarita. Here's what's up. The LA County Sheriff's Deputy Department, they tell us they're dealing with a barricaded suspect in a home here in the neighborhood. This began earlier in the day with deputies attempting to talk to somebody who was talking to a guy who they say was a Grand Theft Auto suspect. And during that chat, they say the Grand Theft Auto suspect drove the vehicle toward that deputy and a citizen. And in the words of sheriff's deputies, they say that person was trying to injure or kill them both. So deputies say they did shoot at the suspect and they hit the vehicle, but not the suspect. They say the suspect got out and made a run for it, and that's why the neighborhood tonight is locked down. They have a house they're concentrating on, and we'll let you know if anyone's taken into custody tonight. Reporting live from Air 7 HD, I'm Bill Thomas, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Bill, thank you. A taxi cab driver accused of a deadly hit and run early on New Year's Day in Laguna Beach pleads not guilty. Ronald Aviles appeared at the Harbor Justice Center this morning. On January 1st, 23-year-old Travis Martin of Valencia was found dead on East Coast Highway in Newport Beach, and police put out a notice of the hit and run. Aviles was stopped nearby within 10 minutes.
He had a shattered windshield. Car probably wasn't too difficult to spot. And when he stopped, the officer who stopped him recognized that there was some damage consistent with the collision that had just been reported.
Cornwell says if Aviles had stopped, he wouldn't be charged with a crime. Now, if convicted, he faces a maximum sentence of 4 years in state prison. Fire raced through a home in Torrance this morning, catching the attention of our ABC7 eyewitnesses. Vine user Val from Cali shared this video with us. Torrance Fire says a home under construction on 226th Street caught fire around 10 this morning. The two-alarm fire could be seen from around the South Bay. There are no reports of injuries. When you see breaking news happen, make sure you're safe and take a picture or video. Post it with the hashtag ABC7 Eyewitness.
NASA is on a mission to discover the secrets of life and how our planet was formed in some very inhospitable climates. Eyewitness News reporter Alex Michelson shows us how new technology is allowing NASA to explore some icy worlds.
NASA is calling 2015 the year of the icy world.
We're trying to search for areas where life may have arisen. We believe that life as we know it arises in the areas of liquid water.
1-0 and liftoff of the Delta II rocket with Dawn.
In 2007, NASA launched Dawn. It's been studying the protoplanet Vesta, and this year will reach the dwarf planet Ceres, believed to contain icy regions.
They're small worlds that started to form, much like the Earth formed. However, they were arrested at an early stage of their development. And so we go to explore them because they're like a time capsule of the earliest stages of our own Earth's formation.
Dawn is using ion propulsion to get there. At 21 miles per second, it's 10 times faster than any previous technology.
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
The real-life scientists say they got the idea from a Star Trek episode.
What do you read, Mr. Fox? Configuration unidentified, ion propulsion, high velocity, though of a unique technology.
With this engine, that science fiction is now a scientific reality.
Ion propulsion is definitely a technology whose time has come.
This summer, the time will come for New Horizons to reach Pluto after a 10-year, 3 billion-mile journey. This will be our closest look ever at the icy dwarf planet.
This is a half-size model of a spacecraft called Cassini, and in October, it's expected to go right over Enceladus, which is a moon of Saturn that actually has geysers of water shooting out of it.
We found very interesting ingredients in that water. There's organics and nitrogen, all the ingredients that you have to perhaps have life in that ocean.
At JPL in Pasadena, Alex Michelson, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Up next, we do lunch with Hollywood's biggest star.
How's this for an exclusive guest list? Only Oscar nominees are allowed, and all of them were there. We've got your all-access pass next.
Hi, everyone. I'm meteorologist Dallas Raines. Most of the nation is freezing, but not here in Southern California. The forecast is next.
Pioneering comedian Dick Gregory is the latest honoree on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Gregory rose to fame as a comedian during the 1960s. His politically themed humor made him a household name. Gregory is also a prominent activist, participating in the civil rights movement with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
I say thank you to the Chamber of Commerce who put this together, to all the people who had something to do with this. I say thank you, and God bless.
The crowd gave Gregory a standing ovation. Among Gregory's supporters at the unveiling, music legend Stevie Wonder.
The Oscars' most star-studded event until we actually get to the red carpet on Oscar Sunday, the annual Nominees Luncheon. Almost 200 nominees from every category took part in today's event. The luncheon allows the actors, directors, writers, and other craftsmen to congratulate one another before the craziness of Oscar Sunday. The nominees are all brought up for a memorable keepsake, the class picture. And as entertainment guru George Pinocchio tells us, before they eat, the nominees hit the press room for a little Q&A.
It's great to be here. It's 5 years since I could fit in this suit. I've been working out because I want to be able to keep up with everybody.
It's very exciting. My dad is with me today. And so it's a very beautiful thing to have the privilege of sharing an event like this with your family. And I came with my mom when I was 7.
It's nice to finally be at the luncheon and now actually be enjoying it and celebrating in the film and taking stock of it actually and letting it all sink in.
I was raised on Oscar shows, so no matter where I was, everybody was huddled around the TV in my family.
When I first was nominated, it was so surreal. I really felt like I was in a weird dream. Like this elongated dream. And 2 days later, we were at a restaurant. My boyfriend went to the bathroom, and I seemed to have woken up while he left. And I grabbed this kid next to me. I said, "I got nominated for the Academy Award!" And he looked at me like, He was like, no, you didn't. I was like, I know. Can you believe it? Google it.
Yeah, I had the most wonderful experience after the Golden Globes of taking the Golden Globe in my hand luggage through the X-ray machine, and I did that thing of I went through and I saw the bag going through and I saw the woman stop the thing and then go close up on this weird shaped thing, and she was like, I think it's an award or something, and I was praying that they would make me open it up, and they did.
This is Bradley Cooper's third Oscar nomination in a row. We'll find out if he finally takes home the gold when the Oscars are handed out on Sunday, February 22nd on ABC. In Beverly Hills, George Pinocchio, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
And ABC7 is your Oscar station. Make sure to mark your calendar for Oscar Sunday on February 22nd. Our special live red carpet coverage begins at 2 p.m. leading up to the show itself with brand new host Neil Patrick Harris. Then more live coverage from the most exclusive after parties as your favorite stars celebrate Hollywood's biggest night.
Will our warm weather stick around through the weekend? Will we finally see some rain sometime soon? Dallas Rain has his complete forecast coming up next.
And this was a special day for two Los Angeles championship teams, the Kings and the Galaxy. We'll show you their ceremony today at the White House.
I hope it's not contagious.
It is not contagious, but it is very funny. We're talking to the local filmmakers behind the Super Bowl ad.
Much of the country is freezing right now, but another beautiful day in Southern California. Let's get a check on weather with Dallas.
That's right, Rita Bay and David. And tonight we're looking down at Long Beach, where it was a lovely day today. Temperatures in the 70s, right now 64 degrees downtown. There's a subtropical air mass sitting right on top of Southern California. I'll tell you one area, though, and it's really cold. Look at the northeast. There's that big storm that hit them this weekend, now moving out to sea, but temperatures are extremely cold at this hour. This is Portland, Maine, at 1 degree above zero. Today's highs, in stark contrast, was Riverside, 85. Look at Pasadena today. Checked in at 80 degrees, mostly sunny skies. We're going to see temperatures very close to this tomorrow, just a couple of degrees cooler. Now, on the satellite view, this is important because what we look for this time of the year, in the wintertime, is for a change in the jet stream pattern. Look at this huge vortex swinging around out here in the Central Pacific. And the jet stream now is starting to make a move toward Northern California. And as it does, it will change the weather up there. Now, for us, closer to home, high pressure is still going to be the main weather feature, so we're not going to see rain. But Northern California, including San Francisco and some of the high Sierra, will get a good storm starting as we move toward the weekend. Overnight low temperatures tonight will generally be in the 40s and 50s, a beautiful night. Let's go at partly cloudy skies. We have a little clouds out there, but not very much. Palmdale, you're at 38 tonight and 46 degrees at Thousand Oaks. Highs tomorrow, I think, under mostly sunny skies, just glorious. Look at that. High Desert, you're running about 10 to 12 degrees above normal for this time of the year. And down in Orange County, mid-70s and even some low 80s out at Riverside. Here's a 7-day forecast then, powered up by AccuWeather. 74, 74, and then even warmer Thursday and Friday. Downtown Los Angeles climbs to 77. Over the weekend, we'll see a few more clouds coming in, but it's not going to really hurt the temperature that much. We're still going to be in the mid-70s as this warm subtropical air mass is over Southern California. Normally, February, one of the wettest months in Southern California, but we really need to see some rain, and especially in Northern California, the snow needs to fall. There's no doubt about that. At the beaches, 66 degrees, so we'll be in the low to mid-60s for the most part at the beaches, and that is right on through the weekend. No rain in the forecast there. In the mountain areas, no snow either. It's clear, the sun is shining, temperatures are way above normal in the mountain areas. 60 degrees right on through Friday, a little bit cooler for the weekend. High Desert, 70, 73, and we're way above normal. I don't know. Rita Bay and David, I mean, this is the time of year we need rain. We didn't see hardly anything in January. And San Francisco did not receive any rain for the entire month of January. That was a record.
That's distressing.
It is distressing. Yeah. So let's hope that this big storm that's coming in toward the weekend will really help them in Northern California.
Yeah. All right, Dallas, thank you. The Clippers' recent good play, they have won 7 of their last 8 games, has vaulted them from 6th in the Western Conference to 3rd. But in the hotly contested West, a loss could drop them back down a couple of spots in the standings. So tonight, the Clippers continuing their Grammy road trip in Brooklyn. In a back-and-forth game, the Clippers looked like they had things under control. DeAndre Jordan with the jam, 22 points, 20 rebounds for DJ. Clips up 11 in the fourth quarter, but the Nets go on a 13-2 run in a minute 20-second span. They hit 4 3-pointers as they took a 2-point lead with 15 seconds to play. Chris Paul with another near triple-double, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. He lays up. It ties the game at 100 apiece, 8 ticks left. Too much time, though, left for Brooklyn, and Jarrett Jack knocks down that jumper, and that's the difference. The Clippers drop to 2-2 on their 8-game road trip. Well, it may have looked like a gathering of Secret Service agents, but those men wearing the black suits were the Los Angeles Kings and the LA Galaxy. They were honored by President Obama at the White House today. Both teams won championships in 2014. The president vowed to make use of the hockey stick he received from the Kings.
This is even better than a veto pen. Y'all remember some of these young ladies. Really appreciate it. This will be in the library someday.
And the Patriots Super Bowl parade in Boston has been pushed back from Tuesday to Wednesday due to weather. No weather issues at the happiest place on earth, though. Patriots Julian Edelman, who scored the go-ahead touchdown, and game savior Malcolm Butler during a parade at Disneyland. Edelman and Butler got a hero's welcome as they strolled down Main Street. Disney, of course, is the parent company of ABC7.
For many, the Super Bowl commercials are almost as entertaining as the game itself. From humor to pulling at our heartstrings, we saw a little of everything this year. Here's a look at some of this year's favorites.
Almost as much of a spectacle as the big game itself,
Peter hit me in the nose with a football.
the Super Bowl commercials. Companies paying more than $4 million for a 30-second ad. We asked commercial director Justin Reardon to break down the highlights for us. This Dove commercial pulled at the heartstrings and was part of the dad theme this year. But this nationwide spot from the perspective of a dead child might not have been the ideal Super Bowl commercial.
I couldn't grow up because I died from an accident.
It's not something you really want to think about right then and there, and you're drinking beers, having fun, and because it forces you to sit there and
One that did bring smiles to fans across the country
I hope it's not contagious.
was made by a local USC graduate who won $1 million in the Doritos commercial contest.
I'd been awake for a couple minutes before I remembered that I'd won $1 million, and then it was kind of like, you had that moment where it's literally like, did I dream that? Is it possible that that was all a dream?
and the humor, it starts in the beginning and goes all the way through.
Overall, how did the ads compare to other years?
I feel like creatively we're on a steady decline because people want to do so much with that 30 seconds rather than one thing. And I think that's, that it ends up diluting their effort.
That is how much it is. Boom!
Microsoft, Toyota, and Nissan, among others, also had more serious ads this year, and analysts point out many of the commercials had socially conscious themes as well, a departure from the flashy, sexy commercials of the past.
So true.
Yeah.
It was very serious this year.
A lot more somber.
A couple of good laughs, though.
Yeah,
There were.
definitely. Well, there's more news straight ahead here at 7:30 and ahead tonight on Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7. 2 people are killed in a violent crash, but Harley refused to leave his owner. The latest on the investigation and Harley's future. And the family of a young hit-and-run victim speaks out tonight to search for that teen's killer. These stories and all the late-breaking news on Southern California's #1 late-night newscast, Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7.
The force is strong with a new exhibit in Seattle, Washington. It features 60 original costumes worn in the 6 Star Wars films. Guests can get an up-close look at the wardrobe worn by actors portraying the likes of Darth Vader, Han Solo, and Chewbacca. They can even see Princess Leia's famous bikini from Return of the Jedi.
All right, very cool. Thanks for joining us for Eyewitness News at 7:30 on LA56. Law and Order SCU is next.
This is ABC7 weather with Dallas Rain.
Okay, we have a great looking day in Southern California. Lots of sunshine across the area. If you headed to Northern California, it could be a few scattered showers. But for us, it's all about this dome of high pressure, so prepare for beautiful weather and temperatures well above normal. You can see it's been really warm today, and this afternoon we're going for 80 degrees at Northridge, 79 up at Santa Clarita. Plenty of sunshine.